Blog Talk Radio.
Free yourself, be yourself, and allow your light to shine. This is a song titled Come to Be by Kia Kia, a very special person that I met on Facebook over the years. And she's a songwriter, a singer, and lives in France. And she has sent me many of her songs. And today I was guided to play this song because Helane, who is absolutely awesome, is going to be talking about astrology, answering questions, and so much more will take place. Whatever spirit is guiding us to do, that is what we will be doing. And the song, again, just felt so appropriate because each of us has a light. And we are here as guides to help you in this physical world. Today, Helane, my co-host, and myself, we are your guides for the next 90 minutes in whichever way that you receive us. You always have a choice to accept or not to accept. That is up to you. But we give you what we are given. Undeciphered, clear as it comes, and straight to the point. It's not sweetened, it's not sugar coated. It is just there, plain and simple. I'm Lordiel. As most of you know me, I am straight to the point, but my heart is open to giving you whatever I am guided to give you. I channel, I chant, I do readings, I do healings, I do a multitude of different energy works, which I just like to say is spiritual energy because the source is spirit, and I am but the receiver. My website is celestialenergies.com, and that is celestial-energies.com. There is a page on there if you'd like to know more about me, because I don't like to just make a list of things that I do, because to me those are just names, those are just brands. It's not me. And the more you listen to me, the more you'll get to know who I am, because all that I am. And that's about as much as I would like to say about me. Today, we're going to be doing astrology and what it means and how it works. And like I said, this beautiful, absolutely delightful person, Helane Lipson, which I have spent quite a bit of time talking to, has really, really got my energy just flying high, and I'm just like very excited that she has taken the time for us, not only for you, but for me too, to be here and to offer all that she is and offer her energy and her skills, her knowledge. She is very gifted. She's a gifted advisor and astrologer and a certified special education teacher and licensed therapist. I mean, how much more can we ask? How much better does it get? Helane, stop me because I can just keep on talking and talking and talking.
Well,
I'm so excited.
Oh, what a beautiful introduction. And Lordiel, I am so happy to have met you. I feel so blessed that you came into my life. And I am so thrilled and honored to be your guest and co-host today.
Well,
it's
you're not
true.
a guest, you're a co-host.
I saw, it was amazing how we also connected through Facebook,
yes.
And it was an instantaneous thing. And I think some things are meant to be.
Yes.
Which is why also I'm so happy to be talking about astrology today, which is my absolute favorite topic. I believe we're souls in a body that came in with a series of gifts and a series of challenges. Even some people are volunteer souls even, I believe, and came in not necessarily with karma, but even still, their birth chart definitely talks a little about some of the things that they would experience, some of the personality traits they'd have, and even clarifies that mission. So, I mean, it's an incredible thing. And it's not a coincidence that people are born on a particular date, in a particular time, and the sky in a particular place, and the sky looked exactly as it was, because everything is connected. Everything is connected. So it's incredible. I know we're here to talk about astrology and what it means and how it works. Mm-hmm. And to me, I believe we have a choice of coming in through 12 different gates. Through 12 different gates, based on the lesson that we need to learn. And I'd be referring to your sun sign, or the sign that is described by the sun lighting up the constellation Set. That would equal the sign of Aries, or that would be, the sign of Gemini. The sun is lighting that up, and that's how you come in with a particular sign, and it's talking about some of the personality traits that you would even carry in as somebody with that sign.
Mm-hmm.
I just and then the placement of the moon, how you'd express your emotions is significant, and the exact time that you were born talks about what things look like on the eastern or the east on the horizon when the sun came up. Also, at the exact time, it's a hard thing to explain, but it's called your ascendant sign or your rising sign, and it's also important. Mm-hmm. What is a good starting point for our audience?
I would also like you to give your website so they could read more about you and the different things that you do. And also,
sure.
if they want to contact you further, so they wouldn't
Absolutely.
need to, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm at www.insightsbyhelane.com. www.insights, INSIGHTS, by B-Y, Helane, HELANE.com. So that would be how to contact me.
Okay, awesome. Now, Spirit is like my right hand. I should say even more than that because they're constantly with me. I talk with them more than I talk with anyone else. We have a regular conversation 24/7. Even when I'm asleep, that's when I'm really out in the spirit world working and talking with them. But I'm saying that because I don't do astrology. I know of it and I understand it with the signs and all that. However, there's something I would like to be explained to myself and probably to my listeners as well. Now, you state the signs can also be cardinal, fixed, or mutable, which are related to movement, resistance to change, and ability to change freely, respectively. Could you expand on that?
Absolutely. When we're talking about a cardinal sign, we're talking about the signs of the zodiac that come in as natural leaders, the signs that are meant to be natural leaders. And that would be Aries, that would be Libra, that would be actually Cancer as well, is a cardinal, believe it or not. I also... There are fixed signs also, like signs that don't do well with change but are actually grounding, like Taurus and Leo. And even Scorpio is a fixed sign. And then we have the mutables. They go with the flow. They're very changeable. They could either swim from emotional extreme to extreme like Pisces, but they're in motion. Or Gemini is another one of those. And actually Sagittarius is also. So these are some of the personality traits that they would carry in based on the life lessons that they have to learn, based on what needs to be completed. That's why they would choose as a soul and a body to say, well, you know what? I am going to come in and I'm going to balance, I'm going to have a balance with my need for leadership, and then I'll have a balance between leading and power and control and tyranny. So, and you're constantly working to perfect the qualities that you have and take the higher road at all times. So yeah, the fixed signs, the mutable signs, and the cardinal signs all have its place, and that's just one descriptor of the potential that somebody can have, because there's also free will. And people make decisions about how they're going to act and how they're going to think all the time. So people can actually decide to change some of the qualities that they come in with also. So you always are making a choice on how you want to act and how you want to think. But you come in with the total package of what you need to do what you need to do. Exactly what you have exactly what you need to fulfill your mission.
Okay, and which signs are masculine or feminine?
That's a good question. You start, the way that it looks with the signs, it starts off, Aries, actually, the beginning of spring is actually sign number 1. It's masculine. And then they switch off. Taurus is feminine, Gemini is masculine. Then goes to Cancer, which is feminine, and Leo, which is masculine, and Virgo, which is feminine, and Libra, which is masculine. And then we go to Scorpio, which is feminine, Sagittarius, which is masculine, Capricorn, which is feminine, Aquarius, which is masculine, and Pisces, which is feminine. And so they switch off. And what does that exactly mean? The people that are more that are come in as masculine signs are usually people that are like almost like the Yang in Yin and Yang. They're mostly in action. They're more assertive. They're more aggressive. Sometimes even more analytical, and represent some of the masculine Yang traits. The feminines are usually more nurturing. They are usually more receptive to emotional issues and other people's emotional issues, and they have the nurturing feminine side, the Yin. So that's and that also is describing the type of personality traits of each of the signs, talking about a very strong potential of what you're coming in as. So oftentimes you come in as a Cancer, just saying. You come in with a motherly, nurturing lesson. And it might be a natural thing to fulfill that nurturing lifestyle of creating a home and caring for people. They're also very imaginative and dreamy. Again, it's a feminine sign, and it has these types of traits.
Okay. All right. I do want to mention that if anyone would like to call in and ask questions, call 646-378-0386. If someone asked a question in the chat room, Helane, would you be able to answer them?
I'd do the best I could.
Okay,
when I am answering a question, it helps me to have, and I could really nail it down when I have somebody's birth date and year. We could talk about some specifics.
Okay. And you just might be fortunate enough, if Spirit guides me to chip in and give you a few words, you may get, some answers from Helane and myself. So you may get a double whammy.
I love it. Oh, I love it.
So I just want to put that out there for anyone. Melly, okay, somebody in the chat room wrote date of birth is, first of all, would you just want the date of birth, or would you like a question to go with it?
Both, but first, what is the date of birth that they gave?
4/6/66.
Okay. And do they have a question? Should I just say a couple of things, a couple of odds and ends?
Well, if you have a question, she could be, okay, no, she has a question. She was ready for that. She just hit
all right.
Okay, thank you so much for being prepared, Melly. She said, I have in the past been a pretty big leader. I find that as I go on, I feel less of a need to lead.
Okay, I do have, I'm looking at, not only am I looking at Melly's chart, but I'm also working psychically. First of all, yes, well, again, look at Aries. She comes in through the doors of Aries, which would be a natural leader, but naturally, because Mercury is in Pisces in her chart, she would work best with other people. She, even in the world of work, has never even tried to take the credit, unlike, she just wants everything to run smooth and there's no task too big or small. But she, unlike also Aries, who is a loner and works alone, she likes to work with other people. The thing about Melly is there's a twist. obviously she must have came out of the womb, and her mother must have said, you could do 1, 2, and 3. And she said, well, I could do 4, 5, and 6. Well, I'm doing it now. And so in working, she has her own way of changing everything that she does. So also, because of her Pluto placing, would have a desire to seclude herself and not want to be surrounded by people, but she is on a high road because she pushes herself out and gets out with other people. She doesn't need to be such a leader. She is actually a beacon of light that can work collaboratively with others, and that was what she was always meant to do.
Yeah. And what I'm also receiving from her guides, that she is feeling less of a need to lead now because she has finally settled in to herself. And when I say settle into herself, it's not the physical body, but she has actually reached a point of blending her spirit and her physical self, and has pretty much learned the lessons she needs to learn, so she's very comfortable. So she's at peace, and not too much is bothering her, and neither do she has to prove. I'm also being told that when she was a pretty big leader, she had, this is what I'm getting, that she had this huge chip on her shoulder, like she had something to prove. And so she was out there, and she was in your face. But now she has absolutely nothing to prove. She doesn't have to prove it to anyone, and she doesn't have to prove it to herself. She knows who she is, and she's in a good place.
Also, she was misled by other people in the past that she had partnerships with. So that, and I pick up the exact same thing you're saying, by the way, about something to prove. And I think it's because her leadership was challenged, and that's because also she, whatever way that you think that she's going to do it, she does have a different take or spin on things. So she has come up against these challenges all her life. So it's very interesting. Everything you were spot on.
Yeah, but she's realized now that, hey, I don't have to go through this. I know who I am, you know? It's like there's another saying that I have when people say something and I don't agree, I will just quietly say, well, that's your opinion, but this is my opinion. And without being judgmental, you know, you're still allowing the person to be who they are. Because we all have to be who we are in order to become who we are to become. You know, so we have to get out of each other's way. First get out of our own way, and then get out of each other's way.
Isn't that true?
So I congratulate you, Melly. God bless.
Yes.
That was great.
Yes.
I'm so happy she's online, well, in the chat room with us. That was really nice.
Well, it's no wonder you have a lot of people that are drawn to your message, a lot, from a lot of different spots all over the world. So that's, and everybody that's meant to listen, listens. I mean, you absolutely have a calming effect on
She
people.
said thank you so much, Helane.
Oh, good.
You know what I wanted to tell you, Helane? I didn't get to tell you this, even though we talked like an hour and a half nonstop. I felt like, you know, here's my long lost friend. You know, we found each other again. You know, so like high school kids, and, you know, we laughed and we talked and everything. But once I saw your name, I said, oh, Mom. I said, will you coming through? Because my mother's name was Helen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't tell you that. And each time I meant to, I forgot, and I guess I had to wait until now to say it. And so even the listeners can see the connection here. So if anyone else has a question no matter what it is, feel free. You can either call in or you can write it in the chat room. Spirit has no boundaries. There's nothing and no one the Spirit cannot get through.
What was so beautiful was just how I met you. I was on Facebook, and your face popped up, and I looked at something that you had, a piece of one of your shows, and just out of nowhere.
Program. We're not entertaining.
No, out of nowhere, I just said, oh, my God, you're wonderful, because that was what came through me at that time, and you just happened to be online at the exact same time. And, you asked why I said that, and I said, I saw your face, and I can see you are really living your mission to help people awaken and evolve, and you really are raising the vibrational frequency of the collective consciousness and waking people up, one person at a time, which was the strongest feeling I had. And it was amazing. You were on. You wrote me back that minute. And it was just like, when it flows, it flows. And so it flowed.
Right.
And it's really, that's interesting. When you're meant to meet somebody or when something is meant to happen, it happens. But
yes,
if I didn't go on that gut instinct or that something inside of me that was saying, wow, she's wonderful, and you should just reach out and spread the love and tell her that nice thought that you had. If I didn't put the love out like that, maybe we wouldn't have met. But you matched my love with your love.
Thank you.
That's what's so incredible. And of course, we talked on the phone naturally so easily. So that was because that's just a perfect example of when things are meant to be. They're meant to be.
Well, I feel that if people can take the time and the energy to reach out to me, then I should be able to do the same thing back, Mm-hmm. And so once I read that, and I tried to answer, I'm going to say maybe 75% because I'm like way behind because I moved from Miami to Washington State, and I have about 4,000 emails unanswered, and so that's why I have to when you started writing to me, I said, when we're talking about the radio program, please put that in the subject, because then that sort of is like a key for me to zero in on. Mm-hmm. And I take care of all that first, and then I go back and try to, go through all the other emails. So sometimes, and right now I'm not catching up, but I get to them eventually. Sometimes it's 2 weeks later, and I guess some people are wondering, I sent this to you 2 weeks ago. But it is what it is, and everything happens in its right time.
Exactly, exactly. And so,
another person is asking a question.
Okay.
The name is Conrita, and she says, what's the difference between horoscopes and astrology? Is reading daily horoscopes a waste of time?
It's a very, 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 very good question. Horoscopes, when they're done right and not just contrived. Horoscopes, when they are done right, are what may be happening based on planetary transits for a particular sun sign, and talks all about what would be happening for all Leos. The problem with horoscopes are there are so many other things to take into account. Even when we looked at somebody like Mary, who had one thing in Aries, the sun, but a lot of Pisces and feminine pieces in her chart. So that horoscope, if Mary were to look at the Aries horoscope, it would be wrong most of the time, because a lot of the inner planets resonate as Pisces, so there's a lot of sensitivity. She's a very sensitive person. Now, so sometimes when if somebody had Leo with a Leo moon and a Leo rising and Mercury in Leo and Uranus in Leo and Pluto in Leo, a lot of times the horoscopes could work, but many times, again, it's only information about one particular sun sign. Astrology...
Yeah, I think you have to be very discerning when it comes to horoscopes.
Exactly.
When you read it, you have to say, that's not me.
Well, you have to also think about who it's coming from. Is it just coming from somebody who wants to make some quick, cool-sounding, hip paragraph about using a couple of the general traits of what that person's sign would be? Oh, you're hard at work, Virgo. Well, Virgos are the hardest workers of the zodiac, or known as the hardest workers of the zodiac. So by just saying that, you're not really talking about what's going on so much for them. But and not everybody that is a Virgo has all these planets that are in Virgo. So a lot of times it's plain old mismatch. In astrology, though, astrology is the study of exactly what the sky looked like when you were born and the angles between planets. And astrology is the comparison of what the sky looks like now to what it looked like in your birth chart, to talk about the windows of opportunity you might have. So astrology, or the study, or the science, as I like to think of it, of astrology, is really more in-depth and more on, because then I can talk about what it means right now, because your moon is in Pisces, what it means with the new moon in Aries right now, when we talk about what that means and what that relationship is. It's also looking and comparing different angles and patterns. I mean, astrology is absolutely much more intense, because it's describing every single planet in every single transit. When I do a chart...
I'm guided to ask Carmita if she wouldn't put down her date, her birth date and year and everything, just so that she could see the difference between a horoscope and astrology.
That's a great question, actually. That's a very, very good question.
Yeah, it was. So would you be willing to step out and give us a shot?
Yeah, well, did she put it down yet? Her birthday? Come on, Karita.
She did. Now, she wrote, how can I use elements of my astrological sign to improve my work and personal relationships?
My great question.
I'm telling you. I think I better step back on this. She says, my birth date is November 30th, 1972. Thanks.
Okay. So when we think about Karita...
Wow. That's how can I
all right. Karita,
sign.
Tell me the date one more time. November
30th, 1972.
November 30th, 1972. Right. You know what, Karita? First of all, you are somebody that partially blends with what would be the horoscope, but certainly not completely. You have a lot of traits, a lot of stuff in Scorpio. The thing is, with your Mercury, when we talk about working with people, your Mercury placing is retrograde. So what does that mean? Mercury was retrograde when you were born in Scorpio. It means that, unlike the sign Sagittarius that you're probably looking up, emotionally, you're not really flitting around. You can't get your mind off of one issue or another. You're like intense and also do not let go of things, which resonates Scorpio. The other thing is, you had a piece of karma that altered things too, because there was this karmic retrograde in family of origin, which meant that you literally chose this family to come through and learn from. And when you have a placing like this, typically people actually grow out of their charts because of the lessons that they learned before age 28. The other thing is, some ways you are like Sagittarius. You're a great people person. You can be thrown in any situation, anywhere. You're you have talents, actually, creative talents too. Like, I mean, you could even be theatrical. Have, Sagittarius is very, very frank, but when you get mad, it comes out in bits and pieces, and you're overly sensitive. And in love, you even love like a Scorpio, one person at a time, very intense with one person at a time. Sagittarius people love to flit around between people. You can't stop them. They're the most likely sign to be looking elsewhere too, because they're always on the move, and they're like, you can't tell me what to do. So she is not completely like a Sagittarius, only in her social ways.
Benefit her at all.
The horoscopes would not benefit her at all. She could look up, unless she looked up Scorpio, and not even, because she's in between. So neither of these would work for her. Not really. Okay. Not really accurate. That's interesting.
But what she wanted to know was she said, how can I use elements of my astrological sign to
the elements of her astrological chart is number one. Release whatever karmic pieces for good, let go, and for good about family of origin things. Number two would be to let go of things. She has an idea about something, and she's very emotional, and she won't let go of it. And then she keeps it present. So it's not only about forgiveness, but it's about letting things go and to not harp on things, because she's very emotional, but people don't even know how emotionally sensitive she really is. That would be how to just let things go, because again, she would obsess on particular ideas and then not move forward. She'd be festering on things that are related to the past and how history would repeat itself and affect the future. So in relationships with people, and in some ways in work, it's good, because she could be like tunnel vision and not stop. But she wants to do things her own. She has her own way of doing things. Very talented girl. Comes in with talent.
Listening to you and remembering the song that just played, come to be yourself, be free. It was almost like that song was for her.
Wow.
Let your light shine,
Wow. And be free of all the...
Yes.
Oh, my God, spot on. Spot on. Wow.
Let everything go and be yourself. Come to be free. And let your light shine. And once she, is able to do that, everything will just, she'll be like a magnet. That's what the vision I just got with this magnet and everything, they couldn't resist her. It was just like, blink, 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 blink. Oh. So I would have to say it's not so much as using the elements of the astrological sign as to doing some work of clearing up, letting go and releasing.
Very, very, very good. Oh, my God, it's so fun working with you, Lordiel.
Thank you so much for that question, and I hope that we have helped you in some way. Feel free to ask another one if you so choose. Everybody wants to come through the chat room today. I'm even getting these little, I am messages. Oh, okay, she wrote back. She goes, you're right on target. She said,
wow.
grudge forever. And work in film. Thanks for the further insight.
Wow.
So, and you said, remember you mentioned, what did you say, theater or something like that?
Yes, yeah, those kind of talents. Yeah, well, she's very, like I say, very talented girl. Comes in. It was a soul carryover. I mean, she brought those traits in. These charts match up with everybody. It's never wrong because this is your potential. Now, again, some people grow out of their charts. Also, we're always challenged by what other people think we should do. And sometimes other people, maybe even somebody that was geared toward entertainment or geared toward business, might be told by family of origin and teachers and from their school institution, you should be a teacher. And they don't know what they are. And so they go forward and they become something that that's not a natural fit for them. So looking within and thinking about
in the right area. Is that what you're saying? Her thought is saying she is in the right area.
Yeah, she's in the right area. Yes. Okay. But I'm saying with her, she actually pursued it. There are a lot of people when you see in these charts that, part of why and why a lot of people hold on to bitterness or anger or empty feelings or lonely feelings is because sometimes they listen to people outside of themselves directing them and telling them what their purpose was, and their strength of purpose was not developed enough at that time, and they'd veer off and they'd have to feel better, make their way back to what they were meant to do.
Okay, now, what you're saying, it totally makes sense. However, it brings up a question for me because it doesn't fit in with what you just said about her because according to
no, it doesn't have anything to do with her.
Okay, because she's in the right, she's doing what...
She's in the right place. She's in the right time.
So why would there be this,
No, I was just saying,
or grudge?
She doesn't, not her. That's
okay.
I mentally moved on to a different concept when I was saying, almost like unlike her, there are some people that.
Okay, all right.
So actually quite the opposite. She's in the right place. She's on the right track. She has to do the two things, which is the letting go of holding on to things that in relationships and to release other things of the past. But she, as far as talents, she's in the right place. She's doing the right thing. Awesome. It's a direct match. She got it.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. Okay, let's move on to Mark.
Oh.
And Mark, I know Mark. He also has a radio program on Blog Talk.
Oh.
And he's a spiritualist. So, and he... Well, you might know him by the name Healing for Inner Peace.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Mark.
His name is Mark. And he was born March 2nd, 1966.
Okay. Does he have a question that comes along with it?
Mark, do you have a question? He just wrote his birth date. He just wrote in March 2nd, 1966.
Okay.
I'll give him a few seconds. Wow, this is exciting.
You could see how he would go into spiritual things. Mark is a Pisces with the moon in Cancer. He's incredibly receptive. He works very well with other people, too, collaboratively with other people, too.
He said transitional period this year.
Okay.
Well, that's for everybody.
Well, he's feeling the shift. He's a spiritual person, and he's clearing out everything. But I'm going to tell you something about, I'll tell you something, Mark. I mean, you're a very emotional man, and you know, emotionally you do release and let things out, and it's, especially at a time like this, is an outpour of emotion and the last of emotional things being healed. You got a nice... You have a nice, cheerful, balanced outlook on life. great Jupiter placing. You know, you are so receptive, Mark, that it's amazing what you do, because there are times that you also would want to retreat because you naturally absorb other people's energy, and you almost need to move away from people too some of the times, and you do, but you are able to release everything that you take in, and just natural, intuitive. Now, does he have a question? I hear you say he's in a transitional period,
and but I was also thinking about conversation a few days ago when you were saying how everything is at a standstill until mid-April.
Absolutely.
So we shouldn't force or push anything right now because it could backfire on us.
Well, what he's referring to is he's had to release different people from his life, like this is what he's inferring, or this is what I'm feeling. So he's letting go of old
relationships.
That's what I'm feeling anyway, yeah. So he's letting go of something. He's letting go of something so that and clearing so that he can welcome what would be a better match by contrast, you know. Talk about somebody with horoscopes. He does match the Pisces, but when it comes to love, he almost expresses himself more analytically. He doesn't always come out with his feelings at the time that it would have. He's very. He needs a friendship, and he really needs somebody that he can travel with too. They're a humanitarian style person with a lineup like this.
But I'm just feeling very strongly, and the Spirit supports it, that he should just take it easy right now and just wait for this period for the next month, the next 30 days before making big changes. Right now, to just do what he needs to do without anything, you know, drastic, and embracing himself, even loving himself more, being good to himself more. You know, I'm not feeling that he gives enough love to himself. He gives it out, but he doesn't bring it back to himself.
Wow, Lordiel, I want to say, as you're saying that, they said, you know, he was very attracted to music and the arts anyway. He had a lot of talents, and he would start a lot of these kind of creative projects and not always finish. And in getting back to his own self, maybe an idea to embrace something like this. Not the same as film, the last person, or anything like this. These are his own little. He also had literary talents as well, and has put different little pieces of stuff together, and also has not brought it to its completion.
Okay.
And so when you say go within,
he wants to talk to you because he just typed in, I'm in the caller kick now. He has a few words to say.
Okay.
Okay, Mark, you're live. Go ahead. Say your piece.
Namaste, my two beautiful goddesses of light, and
hello.
love expressions of Prime Source. Expressing yourself today. I'm going to ask on the show today.
Say that again?
You are both expressing your divine love expressions of Source. Both of you beautiful goddesses truly are. And in sharing that divinity with all of us. And we want much appreciation and thank you for that.
Oh,
welcome. Thank you for being here with us.
So did you have something that you wanted to ask about some of the things that we were saying?
Well, I mean, it's all true and accurate, and I'm definitely working on all of that, most definitely. And what's interesting as I am integrating more of my I am presence and high dimensional aspects is I'm really experiencing it in a more conscious, deeper way. In fact, today, actually, I, for a little bit, talked to my Syrian aspect of my soul's expression for a few minutes, and was definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And quite often they don't give you all the details that you need, but I definitely felt the support and the assistance that those higher aspects of me are going to provide or work on, because they understand. And one of the things which we'll see what you two take on that is I see myself, which is one of my other visions, but I'm seeing it more focused now, in the future being in front of a camera, doing international webinars and so forth in ways which technology which is not yet available, working with our galactic family. Standing beside me is a Pleiadian, Andromedan, Arcturian, whatever, but they are actually other aspects of my own soul's expression. And what is true is that when our higher dimensional galactic family are here in our reality expressing themselves, they can only stay in that state for a short period of time because of the mental and emotional energy here. Mm-hmm. But when they're channeling through my holographic matrix, because they're part of me, and they are projecting their consciousness through my holographic matrix, merging their holographic matrix with mine, and projecting it out in a way that can be perceived by the camera, it is easier for them. How does that resonate with both of you?
With me, I really can actually visualize that as well. I want to say that, you know, the road that will lead to that would be to do channeled writing and have some kind of piece that you also have out with you as you're making the right contacts that lead you in that direction. Mm-hmm. The universe doesn't say exactly how it gets there, but that's a piece of this. There's a piece of this that, I mean, if I was a helicopter looking down on the road and just talking about the quickest path to that destination, there is something to be said for finishing something that you started.
Right. Now, something new, which you're both welcome to join me once we're ready, is with a close friend of mine in England, and I'm in New Hampshire in the U.S., is a brand new domain, and we're working on developing the website because it's not online yet. And the name of it will be Visionary Insights Network.
Beautiful.
How does that resonate with both of you?
Do you want to start, Lordiel?
Yeah, I would like to say that I hear what you're saying, and it sounds good. However, there is a however. My guides are saying over and over and over, healer, heal thyself.
Which I'm working on every day.
Good, because they said the more you heal yourself, the better everything that you want to step forward into and create will be. But you must heal thyself first. So send more love to yourself. Do whatever you need to do, especially with the relationships. Release with light and love. Uncreate, with light and love. But be good and generous to yourself, and strip away the judgmental. There's judgments in there because others are not agreeing with what you want, and you have certain judgments there, and you need to release those judgments also, because everybody is entitled to their opinion. And I feel as long as they're not hurting anyone, it's fine. I just don't deal with, pain. I've had enough physical pain in my life to last about 10 more lifetimes. So, but I tell everybody, as long as no one is being hurt, everyone is entitled to their opinion without being judged for it. And this is an area that you will have to really, really work on. When you clear that, everything else will flow into place, but that must be cleared.
That makes sense. All right. Now, to make sure that you share with Helene my contact info, my email, and my cell phone numbers off here.
You talking to me, Mark?
Yeah. Can you share with her my contact info so I can we can talk off here?
Okay. Yeah. I can. Yeah, because you're on my Skype. Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Wonderful.
So then we can talk off here, and because I have a show as well, so which is cool. In fact, I do want to do another show with you, Lordiel, as well. So we need to talk about that.
Okay, but please take to heart what was just said. Okay,
yes, I will.
Take to heart what was just said. Okay.
I will. A pleasure meeting you.
All right, and we shall talk again soon. Love, light, and blessings to all.
Thank you. Take care, love.
What a sweet man.
I heard free yourself.
It's the recurring theme of the day. Nothing happens by accident.
I'll tell you, maybe that should have been the topic, free yourself.
Wow. I mean, that's what it seems to come back to. That's what it keeps coming back to. It's incredible. It's very, very nice. And nice to talk to somebody with that kind of interest in his own evolution.
Mm-hmm. And he wrote in the chat room, he said, moving from the state, going forward in my soul Earth's mission.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but before you can really, you can do that, but it won't turn out the way you want it to unless you have done the work that you need to do on yourself. So that's why my guides, want to make sure that he understood that he really has to do this. He needs to do it.
Yeah.
And it'd be great. I mean, all of us. I mean, sometimes some people think as healers or astrologers or channelers or psychics, all the different names that they use. Some people actually believe, you've never had a care in the world and that you don't have problems, you don't suffer, you don't get sick. And I take a look at them and I'm like, what planet were you born on?
The real trick, I think, because all of us in our life will experience pain, whether it's physical and emotional. We experience pain. But we don't have to experience suffering. Suffering is the holding on to the pain. It would be almost like, Lordiel, if I stuck you with a pin right now, it would hurt. And you would say, that hurt. Oh, my God, I can't believe you did this. And then you would release it. But if 2 years from now you didn't release it and you said to yourself, yeah, it hurt so bad when she stuck me with that pin. I am so hurt she did this. I don't even know why she did this. I need to go back and try to connect and go over it and over it and over it again so that I could be, so that I could be understood, so that I could show, so she could see that was wrong. And people festering in those type of thoughts years later or even after the pain is over are the people that are creating their own suffering. So we, as humans, or as spirits having a human experience, we will feel the pain, but it really depends on how long you hold on to it. That determines your degree of suffering.
Yeah, determines whether it becomes just a sore or becomes cancerous.
Well, it also manifests into physical forms when the emotional body is holding on to and festering on what happened to them. That's why it's very, and it makes you have a heavier energy body. And then you attract people and situations that reflect that, and you almost become your pain. You become that rather than who you really are. There's so many people, unfortunately, that have not been able to see this.
Exactly. And especially if you believe in the old beliefs and beliefs that weren't even meant for you, but they were meant for somebody else.
Mhm. Yes. You know, many of the institutions that are set up today, whether it's education, whether it's the medical system, whether it's the banking system, whether in the media, everything is tied in together to creating a dependency. And the media is there to just remind you of every painful incident and anything that could possibly be wrong with you.
Mhm.
And so by looking at this and using something outside of ourselves to regulate or judge ourselves and how we're doing, we're usually headed down the wrong road.
A thought just came into my head. It may sound a little crazy, but I'm going to ask it. Does Earth have a sign?
To me, Earth is all the signs. Earth is a living, breathing entity that's allowing us to live on her. And I heard Dolores Cannon say that the Earth is getting tired of us mistreating her and wants to shake us off like a dog shakes off fleas.
Wow.
She would love to work in harmony with us, and we could all coexist together. But we need to love our mother.
Yeah.
The source of all life. I feel like there are components of every sign in the Earth because she's water, with the oceans and the lakes and the rivers and the streams, and she's air with her atmosphere that encases us, and she, of course, is earth and the grass and the mountains and the trees, and then she's also fire, volcanoes and what goes on in the Earth's surface. She's every sign. She's everything. That was a beautiful question.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to have someone else ask a question.
Okay.
And this time, it's a live caller, 207. You're live. How are you?
I'm having more computer problems. And I finally just had to call in. A friend gave me the number.
Oh, okay. And
my computer is just really whacked, and I'm trying to get it back on track because I really need to use it.
Mercury retrograde is not a great time for computers to work. A lot of things break down.
Well, mine's been funky for a while, but it started getting really funky last night, and now it's so bad that even trying to scan it is oh my God, I'm lucky I even get online.
Wow.
To do anything, it's really bad, and all my connections that I don't want to lose are online. You know, I don't want to have somebody else say, Eamon, I'm sorry, but I can't. You know, I'm not going to be around for a while. Then I'd cry.
So what is your name?
My name is Dee, or Dorothy. Dorothy is my given name, but Dee.
Okay.
That's my nickname. Hi.
What's your birthday?
Today, March 22nd, 1948.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, what a great day. And what year are you born?
48.
1948, okay.
Yep, a leap year, baby.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dee. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, do you have a question?
Well, just sort of I guess I'm just some sort of guidance direction, because I'm tired of asking everybody about my love life because everybody has a different opinion, and I'm the one that's going to have to sort it out in the long run between two different people probably.
Well, here is what I would say.
Right.
what's so interesting about you? You really are an Aries. You're not really on the cusp. The sun was lighting up the constellation set of Aries, and you are an Aries. You're a very fiery. You are a very fiery person. You even have like a little temper. You come right out and say, "Listen, there's nothing." And I think that part of that is a carryover from your family of origin.
Right.
And part of it is just your fiery nature. You're like a little like a loner. Like almost if you decide that you're going to do things regardless of who follows and what's happening, you do it. You do need to you need a lot of space from people. You really do. You take a lot sometimes but you do have a cheerful, balanced outlook on life too. What I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm an optimist despite the fact my life is in the crapper. I look at the glasses half full. I see things in a positive light more than I do the negative.
Your life is not really in the crapper as we would say. Unlike some parts of your nature with this Venus in Taurus when you were born, all you ever wanted to do is just set up a home and have a family. It's been one of your deepest desires to be more family oriented. Well, with a placing like this in love, it would be somebody to share a home with and somebody to be with. To take care of a home and to be grounded and have some roots. And that, when somebody has Venus in Taurus, that is the most important thing. So, you talk about finding love, my gut. You do have people around you.
Yes.
But neither of them is everything completely to you. One person we can't get to be emotionally consistent, and the other is just not necessarily a match, but somebody who you'd say, well, I'll fall back on this if it's not for this.
I don't think that way. I don't look, because I was just talking to a friend of mine last night who he's engaged to a woman because he says he loves, but I think he just loves her. He's not in love with her, and because he can't have the woman he wants, I'm trying to tell him it's not going to work for you. I don't take second best. I'm not going to fall back on somebody.
Do you have more than one love interest or more than one person that is kind of in the wings?
I have more than one love interest at the moment.
Okay, so that's what I'm feeling, and one of them is emotionally disconnected style person, and another is somebody that's not a vibrational match. It's really two main people.
They both were. One of them has not been. We haven't connected. He stopped connecting for a little while. I don't know what was going on with him. And today I heard, but he started heating up a little bit again. And then I got something today letting me know he was going to be online this weekend, and letting me know it was the usual. The Tony love thing that he used to be like. The other one I haven't known that long. It's been a couple of weeks maybe, but the connection we have is really good. It's really strong. I sent him something when I sent him a poem I wrote, because I sent him some different things, and he was saying it sounded like we'd met before, which I'd have to agree with.
Do you know the birthday of either of these gentlemen?
Yes, I do. The second one is, he's 55 years old now, and so he's 1956, September 7th.
When I think so, and this is the one that you'd feel like you'd connect really well with, yes? Or the one that you hadn't known for long, but you...
Right. We have a very good connection.
And he is 1956, and what is the actual birthday?
September 7th. September 7th, because I asked him yesterday, and he told me.
Interesting. Oh, great timing. Everything happens for... He's a very emotional man, actually. He's a Virgo, yes, but...
yeah, he's a Virgo.
Very emotionally sensitive. He actually is a nice match. He was once either married or had a family or some kind of situation where he may have believed they took his kindness for weakness. He'd definitely get you out of your shell.
Oh, I am one of those people that I used to be very introverted. Now I'm an extrovert. I didn't used to be.
The minute you started talking, Spirit gave me a vision of you, and what they showed me was a gypsy dancing around with the tambourine, hitting it and shaking the tambourine.
Then I must have been an Irish traveler, because I call myself a misplaced Celt, because I'm Scot. I have part of my ancestry is Scots Irish, and that's what I relate to. And this guy's an Irishman from Dublin, and for me, going home means Scotland and Ireland, and living there.
That's your core. That is your
because
core.
I don't belong
that's the
here.
vision that was given to me. That's exactly what you're saying, and that is the core, and that is where you would even grow more. You don't belong here.
Yeah. No, I don't. I have to go home someday. I know that.
Exactly.
I get homesick listening to Celtic music.
Yeah, because that's what they showed me. I mean, you're dressed up in this, and I just saw gypsy because it had the long dress with the blouse with the flowers and flowers in your hair, but you had this tambourine and you're dancing and around and hitting it and just enjoying and having a good time. But and when they gave me that vision, they also let me feel that your foundation was strong and firm. So that your foundation, if you go, will support you. You are supported.
Right. Interesting, because I'm so many things are happening. So many things are happening in my life now. Everything is changing. I'm becoming more of who and what I am, and trying to sort things out and hoping that at some point, because things haven't worked out the way I'd hoped, the way they were supposed to. I was supposed to host my own blog talk show, but that got kind of, it got canceled. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a medium, among other things. That's and I need to do that, because I finally got a break where somebody was letting me co-host with them when they found out what I was, and it's helped me because I've been rusty at it. I'm not using the gifts that I have to use that, because like I said, I'm a medium. I'm also a natural born healer. What's the other? Yeah, I'm an indigo. Somebody said I might have Blu-ray. I don't know. I have to look that up. I don't know much about anything. I'm the natural born witch that runs in the family, and I was raised a Christian, so married a minister.
Send me an email, Dee. Send me an email, and I would be more than happy to co-host with you.
No, great. I'll have to. Yeah, you have to.
Everything
give
happens
me your information.
It wasn't meant for you to. Everything happens for a reason. It wasn't meant for you to just have your own program, because you would have settled into it too much, and you're not to do that. You're to be free.
That's interesting, because I like when I get a chance. Because tonight even if I don't have the computer, I can call into Psychic X Journeyman show, which I co-host with him along with his girlfriend. She's also there, and that's good. But it helps me because I'm growing and getting stronger at the things I'm supposed to be doing. And one of the things I know I'm supposed to be doing is doing the mediumship work, doing the healing work, getting my jewelry out there, because I make jewelry, and I'm going to be doing something not just the regular stuff, but chakra stuff.
Well, when something happens, and especially if it doesn't happen the way you want it to happen, don't say that something went wrong or it's a mistake.
It wasn't anything I did. It was the person that was starting it up, because he had a group of people under him. And
listen to me, Dee. Listen to me.
Okay.
I'm just giving you what's coming, so I'm not here to struggle with you, because I'm not going to do that.
No, go ahead.
What
I'll
I'm trying to tell you is that when something happens, just take a step back and say, okay, what is my lesson? What am I to learn from this? And then, if you don't want to think about it, ask your guides. Say, okay, tell me, what am I supposed to learn from this, so I can learn and keep getting up, keep moving forward.
Right.
And then learn it and let it go, and it won't happen again. And then you will see, like, oh, my God, am I so glad it didn't happen. You know, like I'm showing you
Yeah.
right now why it didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. They're showing me that you're supposed to be out free. You're not even supposed to be here in the United States.
Right.
You know? So you have to continue to evolve and grow.
Right.
Which means that you don't hold on to anything. Just learn your lessons and go with it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
I'm not going to argue with any of that.
Okay.
No, I think
I'm not here. That's why I said stop, because I'm not here to do that. I don't.
No,
and I'm going to stay in my place.
One of the things that what I appreciate is the fact that you were right up front. You're honest, and there's those people out there, because I have met them and they irritate me. The ones that they tell you what they think you want to hear, because I used to be on Live Person until I was without a computer for a while, and they dumped my status, but my profile still is there, and it says that I call it like I'm up front, I call it like I see it. I'm blunt, but I'm not insensitive, and I let people know that I won't sugarcoat anything. I tell you what I think you want to hear, because that just ruins me as a psychic, and it doesn't do them any good. Right. You've got to tell people what you get, unless you're told that you're not supposed to tell somebody something. And there are things that you know you shouldn't tell somebody, like, oh, well, they ask if their husband's cheating on them. Well, no, you don't tell them that. They could go off half-cocked, and the guy could wind up dead, or somebody else. You have to be careful about what you say, but you don't tell somebody what you think they want to hear, because it's not doing them justice.
Well, your communication just shifted.
Right.
Yeah.
It did. Because I feel also what a person is going through, and it just shifted while you were talking. There was a lump there. There was something that you actually were holding back, even though you were saying everything that you were saying, that you're up front and just say it. There was still something there that was stuck, and it just shifted.
I don't know.
Yeah, it just
something
shifted.
Subconscious then.
I think when you brought out the issue, Lordiel, it matches. This is an example of something matching a chart. There's a karmic piece about anger and blaming that came from family of origin, and blaming outside forces for a lot of the things that went wrong. And you channeled that so beautifully, which is also reflected in the chart. And this is the piece that Lordiel, and seems to be a central theme that Lordiel put out here, and that is free yourself.
Right.
Free yourself from all the other things that happen by looking within and seeing the parts that you had control of and that you could take ownership of, and release it. Fill it with light. Fill the dark crevices with light. Release it, and then be who you're meant to be, because you got it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
You make perfect sense.
So it was a pleasure talking to you today.
You too. Thank you.
Amen. Thanks so much for calling in.
Okay.
And again, contact me, okay?
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
God bless
Blessings.
and have a wonderful birthday.
Oh,
yes.
It's going to get better as long as the computer holds up, so I can talk to Eamon later.
Oh, it's going to get better anyway. The computer working or not working should not be the deciding factor of whether you have a beautiful day or not. You can have a beautiful day because it's your day.
And you can also go to the library. Yeah, but you
What?
can also go to the library and use a computer.
Actually, I can't because I have because of my disability, so I'll be stuck here. But that's
it's not about life. Is not about what you can't do. Life is about.
I know I'm not going to the library, and that's okay because there are things that are going to happen today that'll be fine.
Dee, I must say this. Dee, you must call in what you're wanting with clarity and release all the old pieces. Call in what you're wanting with clarity, and you will receive it in acceleration.
Got it.
Call in what you're wanting with clarity. You will receive it in acceleration. You're looking like if you were looking.
Grateful. Be grateful for everything that you do have.
Yes, and that sometimes I have to remember that. But yes, I am grateful for things that I have, and I forget to say thanks for that. But I am grateful. I'm grateful for the friends I have, the things that I do have. Oh yeah, I just forget sometimes, and that's something I have to remember to do.
Okay, so
You're
you
absolutely
have
right.
things to work on too. But
thank
be
you
free
again.
and
I
allow
will.
your light to shine.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you.
You
too, and namaste.
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 Bye.
Oh,
wow. Wow. You really channeled that in right, though. That was just, again, spot on.
Hey, I'm just the telephone. I'm the instrument. My spirit, before I start a program, I will go through and do different things, whatever I'm led to do. And I sat down this morning and I went to start calling them in. And before I could even get the first word out, they said, "We are all here." So I was like, okay.
You know what's so nice is here I am talking to you. This is a new moon in Aries, and what the new moon promises, the full moon delivers. And I will be back at the end of the cycle. So I'm here with you now at the beginning of this lunar cycle. I'll return as your special guest and co-host on April 6th when there's a full moon. And that means that by the next time that you speak to me, we will have gone through an entire lunar cycle. And
wow.
This is an interesting time collectively for people because the transits right now, there's this Mercury that's retrograde, and we said that earlier. Mars, the planet of action and energy, is also retrograde, so it's not moving directly in its orbit. And then we have the new moon, which is void of course. It's just kind of sitting there, and what's happening with that, it brings everything to a standstill. So people are being forced during this period, during the lunar cycle that has started today, to look within, release emotional pieces so that different opportunities would be available to them when everything moves at, like you said, like we said before, warp speed in mid-April. And so what you're putting out right now is what you are expected to have by the end of the cycle. This is how this works. What the new moon promises, the full moon delivers. So I'd like to see where people are at the close of the cycle too. It's going to be also a fascinating show.
I just wanted to remind you this.
Okay, 5 more minutes. My grandson had something that he needs to remind me. I told him give me 5 more minutes because the program is almost over.
Oh, what a sweet boy he is.
He really is. I mean, I can do my programs and he's right here with me. And I tell him beforehand that Grandma has a program to do and I need you to be quiet and to do your work. So I gave him work to do and what have you. So he must have finished it all. So.
Well, it's been a great time with you, Lordiel. It's been a nice time. I just enjoyed it. It just went by fast.
It did. It was fabulous, and all the people in the chat room and the ones that called in. I mean, the questions, their energy, everything was totally not only fantastic, but it fit right into the song that started it off. Be yourself, be free, allow your light to shine. And it seemed like it was the message for not only them, but for us too. Exactly.
So I'm looking forward to coming back. I loved this co-creative experience with you. And I feel so blessed that we met. I am too. So I'm going to ask you to bring it to a close. And to each and every one of you, thank you for being with us. And please join us again. Helane will be back on April 6th. So
please be guided to come back and share what you have gone through this period and how the information that we have given you has helped. And with that, I will turn it over to Helane to just bring us to a close. Until next time, and as always, I remain Lordiel.
Thank
Helane?
you so much, Lordiel. And I'm Helane Lipson. I had a great time with Lordiel as her co-host and special guest. I am a psychic astrologer for anybody that wants to learn more about what I do, that wants an individual reading, or that would be interested in learning just a little bit more about astrology. You can come to my website, www.insightsbyhelane.com, www.insightsbyhelane.com, or friend me on Facebook. I would love to meet you. My name is Helane, Helane, Lipson, Lipson, and I have another Facebook account for Insights by Helane. So I'm looking forward to meeting anybody that is meant to meet me. In the meantime, till we meet again, love, light, and blessings to all.
Bye-bye for now.